Hi, everybody, and welcome to what, at least in the Willamette Valley and up through Southwest Washington, has been a very still, very overcast, very chilly day. On the left, and this hasn't changed much, I'm coming to you in the 4 o'clock hour. This was around noon today, and this is the visible satellite picture. And just look at the detail. Here's the coast, beautifully sunny. Everything that doesn't have any shading is just the map background showing clear skies. But here's the low cloud fog deck up and down I-5. Notice how it just fills in the gaps of the Coast Range and the Cascades, goes up through Clark County, extends out through the gorge through about Cascade Locks, and then Hood River you start getting sun. There's the snow of Mount Hood right there where it's been sunny, and there's some low clouds out over the Dalles in the East Gorge. Anyway, this visible satellite picture, the fact that we have not cleared today, there's no reason to expect we're going to clear tonight. I know some people have been eager. If you haven't heard, the our moon moves in front of Mars for an eclipse tonight, but it looks like we're going to see completely overcast skies, which means we'll miss the big show. We're in this ridge of high pressure and surface high. It's a light northwest wind, and there's just no agent to get rid of the low clouds. I spoke about this yesterday, probably not in enough detail, but clearly, if you don't get any sun, you struggle to hit 40 degrees. Portland may not hit 40 today. It was 35 this morning. At last check, it was 37. So, also, the modeling is showing that the low cloud deck moisture saturation is over 90%. It's pretty high. Now, that low cloud deck moisture saturation or altitude of the low cloudiness won't be quite as saturated tomorrow. So tomorrow the odds of clearing is a little bit better, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're right back here looking like this again. So it's a bit of a flip of the coin. The other story I'm going to talk about is a cold Canadian high coming down across the upper Rocky states and the upper Midwest and moving down through Oklahoma and into Texas this weekend into Monday, January 20th. So these numbers are really small, but these are low temperatures our time, Pacific time, next Monday morning. Look at the 20s all the way down to Texas. We've got teens and 20s and even single digits in Eastern Oregon and 20s up and down I-5 of Oregon and Western Washington. Some of the coldest temperatures potentially at night that we have seen so far this year. Now, this will come with completely dry weather. So the only story is the cold temperature. Keep in mind, only I was a little surprised when I looked this up. Only two mornings at PDX so far this winter season have dipped into the 20s. It was 27 degrees December 2nd, which technically was still fall. I get it. And then it was 28 degrees on December 3rd. And that's it. So we're going to be colder than that, or at least that cold going into the first part of next week. And remember when I started to talk about a cold weather pattern change, it was tied to the date around January 20th of this cold Canadian high coming in. But as we talked yesterday, I don't see the prolonged cold hitting storm possibilities that we talked about 2 weeks ago. And this batch of cold weather next week will just be all completely dry. And for the most part, all completely sunny as well. Quick shout out to the Momentous Wealth podcast. I did notice a couple days ago they posted a brand new podcast. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm going to put it on my list to do that tomorrow, and then I'll maybe let you know a little bit about what I learned. This is on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. It's a library of investment topics meant to educate you, brought to you by the Momentous Wealth podcast. Okay, pretty simple weather. Right now, we're just focused on all dry weather through Wednesday, maybe dry Thursday. If we're dry Thursday, there will be no rain this entire week. So these were 3 o'clock numbers this afternoon. Portland actually 38. That's the high so far today, I think. They've had sunshine at the coast where it's been 52 in Florence, mid to upper 40s at the beach. Nobody has much wind. Salem's cloudy and 41. Salem was warmer than Portland this morning. You've got calm conditions and cloudy skies in Troutdale, partly sunny in Hood River, cloudy in the Dalles. 39, 41, 37 are the temperatures, 39 in Troutdale. So again, this is how still and how cold, because of the low cloud deck that just won't budge, that we've been in today. And I'm going out of my way to show you this because tomorrow's either going to eventually show partial clearing or it's going to be just like today with similar temperatures, no wind, and low clouds that fail to clear. Here's the surface high on the surface map right there. And if you scroll down to the upper level ridging. See, here's a 582 contour. There's 576 millibars at 18,000 feet. This is a pretty good ridge of high pressure kind of nosing inland. Again, it's a light northwest flow, and there's just no reason for any low clouds that form to get out of here. Now, because we have low clouds tonight, going into tonight that I don't think will clear, we may in fact stay warmer in many areas tonight than we were last night. Last night we had clearing, temperature dropped, and that formed the low clouds and the fog. So tonight it's kind of tricky to tell how cold we're going to get because if the low clouds stay solid, we won't be as cold. All right. Other than that, with the dry forecast, potentially Thursday and potentially all week, everything's about the temperature, right? So here's tomorrow morning. It's showing the weather modeling. We're around freezing up and down I-5, 34 or so up in Seattle, around freezing out through the gorge, 20s out east, 35 upper 30s at the beach. This is tomorrow afternoon. And again, it's showing mid 40s around Portland down in Salem. To get that warm, we would need some partial clearing. Low 40s up around Seattle. There's a 50 in Tillamook and a 50-degree temperature down around Florence as well along the coast. And then you've got 30s and 40s out east. Let's see here. Wednesday morning is going to be about the same. Freezing temperatures up and down I-5. Nobody's overly frigidly cold. It's just night after night of some freezing temperatures. Now, Thursday, there's a weak wave that brings and actually opens the door to that colder air mass over the weekend. Odds are we're not going to see any moisture Thursday, but because there's a bit of an air mass switch, will include a chance of showers. This still shows we're around freezing up and down I-5 in Oregon on Thursday morning. It shows a little bit warmer up in Seattle. There's a better chance of cloudiness and showers up in Seattle Thursday, lesser chance down Oregon. And that's one reason why the temperatures are warmer. There's Seattle 37, 36, 38 degrees. Still cold though across much of the state. And then I want to go ahead and just jump into, let's see here, next Sunday morning. Pardon me as I find my way here. So this is Sunday morning. Now we're feeding off of a cold Canadian high, 27, 28 degrees from Portland down through Salem into Eugene, 27, 26 up around Seattle. You've got teens in Central Oregon, 17 in Deschutes County around Bend, 12 degrees, 14 out in Baker County. So really cold air. And then that's going to continue. Monday morning could be even colder. Let's see. 26, 27, Portland, Salem, 27, Seattle. Again, this is Monday morning of next week. Flirting with single digits out across the east. Again, it's a cold batch of air. Now, one reason we're not breaking the low clouds today, we may not break them tomorrow either. It's because there's no wind. Here's this afternoon, the wind forecast model. And that basically shows 3, 4, 8, 5, 4, 5. There's no wind anywhere. A little bit of wind setting offshore from the southern Oregon coast. So let's see if this picks up any wind tomorrow. I don't expect it to. There's tomorrow morning, really calm. Tomorrow afternoon. What wind there is offshore. So everybody's in the light. Now, Wednesday is the day that I think we could develop a bit of an east wind. See the blue shading here? That's not very strong, but that's winds 10 to 20 miles per hour picking up from the east in the gorge. And if that happens early Wednesday morning, that will clear out at least the North Valley, Portland up into Clark County here in Oregon. And we would get into some beautiful sunshine. And that alone would warm us up a little bit in the afternoon. Those east winds fade away on Thursday, just kind of a one-day deal in the morning. But then later in the day, Thursday, see the winds picking up along the Cascades, especially the Washington Cascades, with some gusts up to about 30 miles per hour. This is now a west wind in response to that little push of cooler weather with a cold front coming in Thursday. Nothing alarming, and really you got to be up in the mountains where you have much of a noticeable wind. It does show the Columbia River Gorge gusting 20, 25 miles per hour Thursday afternoon. And then we'll go back to calm. And let me see if this goes into, let's see if it goes into Sunday. All right, here's Sunday afternoon of next week. This is east winds picking up in the gorge. These are 20, 25 mile per hour gusts that would probably continue Monday, maybe the Tuesday of next week. So there's a little flavor of what the winds are doing. Generally speaking, not much wind along the coast, not much wind down in southern Oregon either. So here's the cold Canadian high, which I feel like is my biggest story overall that comes in this weekend. Here's this is the GFS American model. They're 850 millibar, 5,000 foot elevation air mass map. This shows you bubbles of cold air and warm air. So here is Friday morning upcoming. Here's the cold air in Canada where you see the green and the purple. This is what turns into that large batch of cold Canadian air that's going to drop down across Montana. Here it is, Friday afternoon. Look at it intensify. Oh boy, this is cold air with massive temperature departures in a negative way into Saturday. Again, the core is Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, Nebraska, but it's close enough that modeling takes an east wind and pulls off of this and shoots through the gorge, lowers the dew points to about 20 degrees in the Willamette Valley in southwest Washington, allowing calm wind areas to get down to near 20 degrees for a couple of days, starting Sunday into Monday mornings of next week. Again, this is temperature departures easily of 20 degrees below normal up into the Dakotas on Sunday. And again, we just pull a bit of an east wind off of that, which will allow more cold nights, so not so much hitting us during the daytime hours, where with sunshine, we should warm up. And here's Tuesday of next week, Wednesday of next week. Here's Wednesday, midday next week. Let me back up. The high works all the way to the Dakotas, and all of a sudden we get a brand new Pacific high coming in for rapid moderation. But all of this could be dry. We could be dry all of this week, and we could be dry for the most part all of next week, or at least Monday through Friday of next week. Wow. Okay. Let's go around the horn. These were 3 o'clock. Now let me see if I can update the 4 o'clock temperatures. All right. 43 in Salem, 39 Portland. Boy, it's chilly, right? 48 in Newport, 53 North Bend. Let's go around the horn. All dry down in Medford. Cool day tomorrow, 44, 46 Wednesday. Then starting to moderate on Thursday, 52. And there's that shot of cooler air once again with the overnight lows in the 20s and the highs in the mid 40s. That's right. Monday's not only Inauguration Day, the 20th, but it's Dr. Martin Luther King Day as well. Okay. All right. Ben, what we got? All dry? Yep. All dry for the most part, all sunny. Some warmer days coming. 50 in the afternoon be really nice. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And there's that colder air mass coming down from Canada, pinning highs in the 50s and lows in the teens, going through the weekend into your Dr. Martin Luther King Inauguration Monday right there. Okay. All right. Let's bounce it up to Seattle. Yeah, I like Thursday showers in Seattle. There's a chance of showers in Portland on Thursday, but I'll be really surprised if we actually get anything. But there's a legitimate threat on Thursday up in Seattle. And really, that's it. Here's the cooler weather up in Seattle as well. Sunday morning, 27, the high of 39. Dr. Martin Luther King Day, 27 in the morning, 40 in the afternoon. Okay. Salem, what we got? This is going to show a chance of showers on Thursday. Very slight chance. So slight that the modeling isn't even picking up on it. So giving us some hope for some clearing the next couple of days. Lows around freezing, highs in the 40s. And then there's the colder weather, 27 Friday morning, 27 Saturday morning. Could be more like 24 in Salem Sunday morning with a high of 44. Lots of sunshine. Here's North Bend, all dry. 56 Wednesday and then cooler, 51 Thursday. Still about 50 on Sunday and then 53 on next Monday. So that's really a pretty quiet, good looking forecast at the beach. Okay. Courtesy of Hazeldale Tire Pros, here we go. So this afternoon, maybe we hit 40, maybe we don't. Tomorrow, if we get partial clearing, mid 40s. But if we don't, with no wind, it could be near freezing in the morning or mid 30s and no higher than 40 again in the afternoon. Wednesday, remember, we pick out that east wind. That's why I'm projecting sunshine, which alone will warm us up somewhat, 48. The shower chance is in the slight department Thursday. Then here's the colder nights coming, 35 Friday, 30 Saturday, 27 Sunday. Could be even colder into Monday morning as we pick up east winds and clear skies with that. All right. That is your update on a Monday. If you haven't subscribed and you like the video, please do so. That helps me out. You'll be notified when I post. And for now, I'm meteorologist Rod Hill, and I'll talk to you soon.